Hi everyone, I'm Jerry from Intellicat Tuition, and today I'd like to talk about writing a proper introduction for your conversation. Now, many cliches that students like to use when they come to writing an introduction for their conversation, they like to describe the weather, even though somehow the weather has no connection to the conflict that is about to take place later. One frequently used cliche is description of the sun. If not, you spend one paragraph describing the moon or the stars. Okay? So let's say if the essay is about a bank robbery, how does the moon, the sun, or the stars have anything to do with the conflict that takes place later? Nothing. So please do not talk about the sun, do not talk about the moon, do not talk about the stars, unless the presence of a moon makes you feel like robbing a bank. So please refrain from using this kind of cliche introductions. So you must be wondering, if I cannot describe the weather, how am I supposed to give a proper introduction for my essay? Well, here are some ways. I'll show you a few. One of which is description. What do I mean by description? What do I mean by description? If your essay is taking place in an indoor setting, you should not describe the weather outside. Unless your essay is taking place in an outdoor setting, by all means go ahead and describe the sun or the moon or the stars. But let's say if I give you an essay about bank robbery, refrain from talking about weather. So what do you describe? You don't describe about the weather. You can describe about the people in the bank. You can talk about the business of the bank. Is the business good? How was the aircon? How was the air conditioning? Is it too hot, too cold? Were the customers very rude? Okay, you can describe about the everyday life in a bank for a start. Another method for introduction would be reason. You can start your first paragraph with a reason. For example, again, bank robbery. What is the reason for the bank robbers to want to rob the bank? Was it because they lost their job? Is it because a bad choice that they have chosen? Okay, these are some reasons that you can give that will lead, which will explain the actions of your characters that appear in the conflict later. Also, instead of spending time describing and building up a slow, gradual pace towards the conflict, why not you jump straight into the action? What do I mean when I say jump straight into the action? Once again, when we talk about bank robbery, we can straight away just start with the bank robbers robbing the bank already. Alright? That would be a fast way to capture the attention of your reader. Also, it starts with a climax already. However, one common mistake when pupils make when they jump straight into the action for introduction is that later on they forgot to rewind back a few steps to explain how the conflict took place. Okay? So when you jump straight into the action for your conversation, please make sure you spend at least one paragraph describing the steps, the prior steps or the prior events that happened before the conflict took place. Another way you can begin your introduction paragraph, you can start with dialogue. Just any dialogue, but make sure it is, once again, relevant to the conflict that's about to take place later. For example, you can have your characters having a mundane chit-chat in the bank before the robbers take place. Or again, you can combine dialogue with into the action, reason. For example, your robbers could be talking to each other about the reason why they want to rob the bank. You can jump straight into the action when the robbers start shouting, "Everyone put your hands up!" You know, or something like that. There's one more way to start your conversation, which is trigger or flashback. What do I mean by trigger or flashback? A trigger or flashback means something that happened which triggered off an earlier memory of the robbery taking place, of the conflict that's taking place. So for example, you could have seen a $10 note lying on the ground which reminded you of the robbery at the bank, or you could hear a loud sound, bang, which reminds you of a gunshot which happened in the bank. So please choose an appropriate trigger or flashback which will kick off the character's memory and lead you back to the conflict which happens in the bank later. Alright, so here are some ways you can start writing your composition. So instead of talking about the moon and the stars, I hope you have other ideas of how to begin your composition. So this is still not enough. We need to have some exercises where you practice writing on how to begin an introductory paragraph, and you can do it here at Intellicat tuition. I'm opening a new class for creative writing from 5:30 to 7 p.m. every Tuesday. So do drop by if you need help for your essay writing. For further inquiries, you can call us at 6280-6841. And once again, I'm Jerry, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you.